Dinner and a Book is supported by the Rex and Alice A. Martin Foundation of Elkhart, celebrating the spirit of Alice Martin and her love of good food and good friends.
Two teenagers, one Greek and one Turkish, from the northern part of the island of Cyprus, meet and fall in love during a disastrous war that leaves them separated for years. I heard about this war when I was in high school and have met many people from both sides. The food there is excellent, no matter what side you represent. And I have loved both Turkish and Greek foods. Let's meet my guest Laura Horst to discuss today's book, The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak. Hey, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here in your colorful shirt to give us some energy.
Oh, great.
Well,
great to be here.
I wanted to tell you that I have been marinating chicken in all kinds of spices and creams, and I want to put them with some potatoes in the oven because
looks great.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not so colorful, but it's supposed to be tasty.
Oh.
And we'll get right back to what you are going to do,
Okay.
and tell them what you're going to do.
Well, I'm starting off by sauteing some onions and a little garlic to get ready to make what they call a pide, which is basically sort of like a Turkish flatbread. So this is going to be a different sort of topping for it than what we would think of, but it's kind of like a flatbread.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You have used a special dough to make this.
Well, yeah, I kind of cheated. It was like a raised dough and all of that kind of thing. And so instead, what I did was I got some frozen bread dough rolls, and I put two of them together to get a big enough piece to roll out for the base. So I have a couple that I have on the way, and we'll add in some chicken and a few peppers to this, and put on top of, with a little feta cheese, and put that on top of the...
Don't forget, this is some of the best food, most healthy food in the world.
Absolutely.
And you are going to see Laura put it together here. Now, when you say you cheated, I don't think you cheated. I think you used your smarts to overcome some things that would take longer, and et cetera,
That's true. When you don't have a lot of time,
Right.
it is that frozen bread dough is very handy. I just threw it in threw the frozen pieces in the refrigerator, and then when I was ready for them, they were already raised and ready to go.
They're raised and waiting for you. We also brought some, they're hors d'oeuvres, okay, together. And for example, right here in front, we have a dish here of some, not crudité, but hors d'oeuvres. What should we call this?
Appetizers, whatever. Mezze plate is what
Yes.
they kind of call it, Turkish anyway.
Yes, and you know what we're making. There's a Turkish word for it and a Greek word for it. If you look at the dolma here, this is the rolled up grape leaves with food in them, usually rice, cooked rice. And then you cook it in the oven. And this is the stuffed grape leaves. And I have made them, from scratch, and it's fun. But we had so much going on here, and we don't have all the time to get them all unrolled and rolled up and then baked again. But I have marinated some chicken with some potatoes in the oven. That's going to be our main course, and it's a very typical Greek chicken dish. And of course, we have our appetizers to start with. And this is something you would serve, at the beginning of the meal. And I just wanted you to know that in this part of the world, when you talk about Serbia, and you talk about Romania and Bulgaria, and you talk about Greece, and you talk about Turkey, this is where they make the dolma, or the stuffed grape leaves. And I'm using the Greek word. So it's a typical hors d'oeuvre in that part of the world. Nothing better. I suggest you go to Greece, you climb up to the Parthenon, and you eat this wonderful food. And we have some Greek wine here. This is offered by Tuck and Janice Langland. They love Greek wine. I don't have any Turkish wine, but you know, that's a Muslim country, so they don't really
Sure.
drink that much. But of course, all the tourists do. So you are now putting your chicken in.
Yeah, the onions and the peppers, it didn't take them very long to just sort of get a little
right.
transparent. And I'm just putting some chicken. It's just shredded chicken that I had. You could use a rotisserie chicken. This
Yes.
is your leftover from your rotisserie chicken for day 2, maybe. Yeah. So, and this is just kind of getting to be the topping.
And you
that's
know,
gonna go on it.
you learned as a child, your mother's knee in the kitchen, how to make food from scratch.
There you go.
And
Yeah, I did.
now you are learning, since you work full time, you have found little shortcuts
That's
here
right.
and there.
That's
and
right.
you don't have to apologize if you're using shortcuts, or you can find something, because we can't be in the kitchen for 3 hours after we've worked 9 hours.
That's right.
And this sort of thing. So you're doing a great job. And this is going to go on top of your rolled
on top
out.
of the rolled out dough. They call it a pide, P-I-D-E, pide. And it's a typical Turkish
Yeah,
Turkish food.
sounds good to me. And
What did you think of this book, Gail?
I loved it.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the book. Yes,
Yeah,
I love this
I did
book.
too.
This is a historical. This will help you understand trees better. The father is a botanist, and other things. His name is Costas, and the mother,
Daphne. She tragically passed away.
Yes.
And we start sort of hearing from Ada, the daughter, and she's sort of dealing with life and grief, and then ends up finding out more about her mother and father and how they met,
and the mother is
Yeah.
Turkish, and the father is Greek.
which is
This
kind
is-
of a big no-no.
This is a huge no-no in the 70s, 80s, probably even today.
I
I
hope
don't
not.
know. I hope not.
but-
I hope I'm wrong. But and we have wonderful foods from both sides. We have wonderful drinks. We have flavors. And don't forget, this is an area of the blue zone food where it's a blue zone. Japan and Greece, this
Yeah.
area knows how to eat well and carefully. So what are you going to do now?
I turned it off. We'll be able to put it on top of these, and then they'll pop in the oven for a little bit. You said to me you read the book 3 times.
Oh.
Tell me again, because you said you read it 3 times and learned something every time.
Every time you learn about
It was
fig
such a
trees.
wonderful book.
And
Yeah.
you learn about songbirds, and you learn about monarch butterflies. You learn about parrots that live with people. And it makes life so interesting the way they conduct themselves.
Yeah.
And of course, they really get to the heart of what living is like, true living and eating. But they had this horrible time of the warring between the Greeks and the Turks. And that is so sad. I did read it. Every time I read it, I found something new.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to remember all this?
And the first time I read it, I thought it said fig tree, and then it was talking away, and at first I didn't realize that it's the fig tree talking.
Yes.
So it's from the perspective of the
tree.
Of the tree, and what an interesting thing that the fig tree is the main character, or a main character.
Main character.
Very important. It knows all about the history of what happened, how her parents met, all kinds of things. Because this fig tree was growing in the middle of a bar in Cyprus.
The happy fig.
The happy fig. Yeah.
And the people had a good time. Before the war, you had a mixture of people coming in and enjoying this place. And I think they were happy going there. And the fig is a central character. There's no doubt about it. We learned about how the ants live in the tree. We learned about how the monarch butterflies come in and settle in the tree. We learned about so many things about fig trees. And I have to say, some people have them in the United States. You have to live in a certain climate so they don't freeze to death. But my children had a fig tree. They moved into a house with a fig tree, and it was already starting to die. And this book said when it's dying, you have to almost help it along the way.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this, and we also learn how to transport and grow a fig from a little branch.
From a little cutting.
A cutting?
And you're right. They took a cutting and they put it in their suitcase when they moved to London, and we wouldn't be able to do that.
Oh heavens,
There's no way you could
We'd
transport.
probably be hustled off into the into a van or something.
Yeah.
Oh. And so this was this is so
I was just going
pretty.
to say, I put the topping on. I just put it kind of randomly, and then I added a little bit of feta cheese, and then I'm just throwing a little bit of parsley on top, and it'll cook for, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, so something like that.
So we're going to unveil it in the second part. We're going to continue with our presentation and what we're doing. In the meantime, we want you to take a look at the menu for today. And we'll be right back, so don't go away. And we're back with our wonderful book, The Island of Missing Trees. And Laura has nothing missing right here. Tell us what you just pulled out of the oven.
I just pulled out of the oven the Turkish pide. It's like a flatbread, kind of, and I think I'm just going to move them right here onto our plate, and these can be ready for us when we're ready for it.
Now, is that go with the main course, or is it part of the mezze?
I bet it's part of the mezze, the mezze plates, yeah.
Which would be an hors d'oeuvre sort of thing. And it's the same thing we have on the dish here, the mezze here, with the stuffed leaves, and then we have the figs. And now we've got to move on to the chicken. I want to pull it out, and I want to add another bit of the dressing, the Greek dressing, and we will pull it out and then put it back in again. And it really is coming along very nicely. I'm going to come this way.
Sure.
And
wow. That is coming along really nicely.
Yes, and you know what I'm going to say about this is I'm going to add, of course, this is part of the marinade. We don't get rid of anything. You see, you keep it and then you put it back on, and it's back in the oven for 20 minutes. The potatoes are roasting. You don't waste a thing. Use it all. So there we are.
Oh, that'll be really delicious.
So it's going back in.
And I'm going to make a second dish for our sort of our mezze and our meal, and it's Turkish pea salad. So it can be warm or it can be cold, or it can be room temperature, sort of whatever you would like to do it. And I actually think it's better after the second day, after the herbs and things have marinated in it really nicely. So I fried up a few more onions and some garlic and a few little fresh herbs. And now I'm going to add our tomatoes, some fresh tomatoes.
All this fresh food.
Yeah.
Yes, this great, oh my, the same foods, but they're just so good for you and so tasty.
Right, and it's gonna just start cooking down. You can kind of see, I had a yellow tomato, and some red tomatoes, so it makes it really nice and colorful.
It is colorful.
And then I'm just going to add some of these. I went easy, frozen peas and carrots, and I'm just going to put those in as well. And this will just start cooking together.
And this is part of our kind of our hors d'oeuvre or our mezze. It means the middle of the day, I think.
Yeah.
And so you can have this food all day long, I think. But it's so you're going to do that. Here's what I'm going to do for my salad. Now, this Greek or Turkish salad does not have lettuce. It's chopped tomatoes, it's chopped olives, cucumber. And now we're going to put in, well, I want to put in some of the feta. The feta has some tomato in it too. And sometimes they use a farmer's cheese, which I think you have. Do you have some farmer's cheese?
I have goat cheese.
You have
they
goat
might
cheese.
Put goat cheese
they
in
might,
it.
yes. But
Yeah.
I like the cheese. I like the fact that this is all packed with vegetables. And then the dressing, oh, this is the real killer. You just take squeeze a lemon, and I'll take another half here, and we're going to squeeze some more lemon. And I put some salt and pepper on here. And we're going to add olive oil, and that's our dressing. Lemon juice and olive oil. And more people are starting to use this as a healthy salad dressing. No more all of that kind of fatty salad dressing that we seem to love. And so here is the salad dressing. I have 2 servings. This is one of my favorite foods from the section of a blue country that has the best food for you. And remember, Greece is one of those countries.
Right. They always say the Mediterranean diet is what you should be
And
eating.
that's what we have here. Look, this is
right.
just coming on. And
And you were saying you could eat it for breakfast or for lunch or for dinner
Right.
or for a late night meal or kind of whenever it suits you.
you know, there's
So-
just so much going on in these countries, but this food stays forever. I mean, they try other foods from other countries, but they have figured it out. Greek and Turkish food is second to none, and they love it, and I like it too. I really think it's amazing. So we have our mezze here, we have our salad, one for each one of us, and we have our cute
pita.
little pita.
Yeah.
And you're doing your vegetables.
Yeah.
My chicken is still cooking. We have probably another 5 minutes to go on that. And I have added a French dessert. I mean, we could have made baklava. You know. But anyway, baklava is served, it's made and served in about 20 countries, all with a little different twist.
Right.
So I decided I will present these wonderful, can't remember, eclair.
Yeah, eclair.
Eclair. The French are very popular in Greece. They like their food as well because the French like healthy foods. They've gotten away from a lot of the fatty sauces. And so anyway, we have our salad, we have a dessert. Now we just need our main courses, and we're going to keep preparing here. And some more yogurt. Here, Greek yogurt. I'm going to put it here so you don't forget. It's good for you. And what do you want to say?
Well, I just wondered what you thought about for the book. There was a period of time we start out sort of in the 70s where they're falling in love. We already said that. And then the war is happening. And then Costa gets
the
father, but then they're just a young couple.
Yes, sir.
He gets sent away to London to be with a uncle, and she is there and sort of feels abandoned. I mean, I think
Ava is still, no, not Ava. Her
Daphne.
Daphne, the wife of, no,
right.
she's not, is
Well,
she already the wife?
No, at that point, they're just sort of a couple. And so, but then it's years later, till he, for some reason, comes back to the island. I don't remember why, but she has, and he finds her. She is working as a person that's helping volunteers, and they're digging up the bones of people that have died
In this
and
war.
were buried
during
Yeah.
that war, and they were buried somewhere, and their families don't know where they're buried. So they're doing all of this sophisticated identification, DNA
Yes.
stuff, so that they can tell the families this is the person that was missing for your family.
And Daphne is
it's
the one
what
that is
great.
doing this.
Right.
And I think this really, it doesn't say in the book, but I think this really affects her. She is, and she's born with a very melancholy streak. So all of this adds up and just presses on her. And there's some things we aren't telling you. We want you to read the book,
Yeah. Oh,
so
you
you
should definitely
discover.
read it.
Yes. Oh, this is so good. I mean, it's at this point then we start talking about ants, I think, and how important they are.
For the tree.
For
Yeah,
the tree,
right,
yes.
For the tree.
This tree always is in the story. And so,
Yep,
in
the
any-
fig tree is just the main character, and we learned so much about botany, by
botany,
the book.
how to identify people that have died in war, how do we get the families back together. The sister of Daphne, Miriam, she's there. She is
Right,
there.
she comes to meet Ada.
Ava, yeah.
Yeah,
And
right, then
she's never
her
met
niece,
her.
her niece, yeah.
And this is the daughter of Costa and
Daphne. Right,
And
right.
and so it is complicated in ways, but all of a sudden you sit there and you go, oh, I get it. It all works together. It fits.
Right,
It fits.
right.
And
Yeah, it's such a good story. It's just really a good story. It's kind of a gripping book, and it's just got so much in it. It was really
every
really
time I
good-
read it, I
good
learned
read,
something
very good
more.
read.
I focused in on either the ants or I focused in on the fig tree. And this fig tree, you know, part of it, a little sprout is taken to England.
Right.
And it's planted in England. And maybe there'll be a follow-up.
Maybe.
And,
you never know. I'm
so-
going to add a little dill weed to this too. It's
Hey,
sort of a,
why
a
not?
different-
I love dill.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have your little garden over here, and your Kalamata
Yeah.
olives, the Greek olives.
Right. Greek
and
olives.
And each one of these dishes has a little twist depending on whether you're a Greek or a Turk.
Yeah,
Right. And this is a beautiful part of the world, and it's not a place you just go to break plates. We always hear about people in restaurants in Greece breaking plates. There's so much more. We are gathering ourselves together, and I just had a minute warning here, and can I take my chicken out?
The chicken will be ready probably in a little while. And
Oh.
we'll gather all of our food together.
Right.
This
well,
has been so nice, Gail.
It is, and it's your choice of book.
Yeah, I enjoy
Think about
doing this with you.
where you found this book, because we're going to come back and do a little more. We're going to take just a little break, and then when we come back, we'll put our meal together, and we'll reminisce, and we'll talk about
you go.
more important things. So stay right there, we'll be right back. Laura Horst and I welcome you to our lunch, our dinner, and our mezze, all three meals here. I just think this has been a wonderful experience doing all this cooking.
Yeah.
It really kept us busy, didn't it?
It did, it did.
But so why don't you start with your
Okay.
presentations
So
here?
I made a chicken pita, and it's a Turkish flatbread, and with some feta on it. And then I also made a pea salad, Turkish pea salad that can be eaten room temperature or hot or cold.
And it could be part of that long table of mezze, of
Right.
presentation.
Right.
And actually, I think it looks wonderful. And I've added here a part of the hors d'oeuvre or the mezze, which could be served as a course itself or at the table. People have a fresh fruit drink with it. And if you're in Turkey, you probably have that. In Greece, you could have that, or some wine, like our retsina here. And I made the salad from that part of the world. It's made a little bit differently depending on what country you're in. If you're Romanian, it will look one way. If you are Serb, it'll look another way. In any case, I thought I could be all things to all people here in this salad. And then, let's see, we have the chicken dish. Oh my gosh. This is a Greek recipe with the roasted potatoes, and I have marinated the chicken overnight. It should be for 24 hours. I think mine was about 16. And I think it'll survive. So this will be beautiful with the vegetables, you see. We have the salad. We have a
feast.
We have a feast.
We have a feast.
Yes, it's
We
beautiful.
really do.
And I think I have my French eclair, and we are going to say that we loved the book.
Absolutely. Really loved it. Highly recommend it.
I do too.
Yeah.
You will learn so much, and you will enjoy the romance, and there's sadness too, but that's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're glad you joined us today. I'm glad you said yes,
Thank you, Gail, for inviting me.
and thank you for finding the book.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're amazing with these book finds, and we're glad that you're watching. Stay with us. Come back next week, and we want to say thank you, and good food, good friends, good books make for a terrific life. We'll see you next week.
This WNIT local production has been made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you.
Dinner and a Book is supported by the Rex and Alice A. Martin Foundation of Elkhart, celebrating the spirit of Alice Martin and her love of good food and good friends.